All right, listen up. All right, who's ready for Orlando 2026? I am so excited to bring you guys on this trip. The last time we went, we had a blast, even though it was super, super hot down in Florida that week. I think it's going to be a great trip. I think you guys are going to have a fun time. I think you're going to make some new friends. You know, I think we're all going to have a really great time. So if you haven't already, do this. Okay, make sure. A couple students said they couldn't get it to come up on their phone. So if all it is just bringing you to like a website, okay, that I made using Google Site. So I'll post the link on Google Classroom tomorrow or at some point, just so you can access it that way, and hopefully that helps. Okay, but the reason I mention this is because this brings you to this little kind of like hubby type of thing where you have a lot of information. And so that's all it's doing. If you just save it to your desktop on your phone, every time you click on it, it's just going to open up whatever browser you use and bring you to this. Okay. I'm going to try to go through all this information as quickly as possible. The point of this meeting is to give you guys a quick overview of the itinerary. I don't want to get too much into it because you guys can look at it every day by using this hub. Okay. I'll go into try to cover the important stuff, but what I don't want you guys to do is talk, okay? Because if you're not getting this information now, I'm sure most of you didn't intently go through the itinerary word for word and read every little thing I have in there. Maybe some of you did, okay, Tommy, all right, good. But otherwise, I don't think that probably didn't happen. So what I'm gonna do is give you guys the Reader's Digest version and some highlights, important stuff that you need to know. Okay. So when you do click on this, you should be brought to the itinerary. Okay. And you'll have access to this every day. Okay. And, if anything changes, very simple. I can pull it up on my phone. I can edit it. I can change it on the fly. So if something changes time-wise or, I don't know, even something major changes, we can always, make these changes. So it'll always be active and live and everything. So everything kicks off on Thursday, April 23rd, actually. So during school that day, we're going to be collecting the band and orchestra instruments and putting them onto carts and getting them ready to get loaded onto the truck. If the biggest thing with that is if you're not in school on that day, you're going to be on a field trip. That's fine. Okay. Or you're going to be just out for an appointment or something like that. Connect with me or Mr. D so that we can make sure we get your instrument ahead of time so that we can, have it for loading onto the truck that night. Okay. And then Sunday is the big day. You guys all arrive here. Please don't come any earlier than 7 a.m. I'm giving ourselves an hour. You guys will come in through the main entrance over here on the side. And then if you're a female with luggage, you guys will come to this door, and I will have one of the female administrators who's actually coming with us on the trip. I don't know if you guys remember Mrs. Small. She was the principal at Matthew Thornton for a number of years. Did anybody go to Matthew Thornton, remember? Yeah. Okay. I think she was the principal when you were in.
She was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's now up in the district office, and she cuts all the checks. She cuts my checks. So she's my favorite person. Anyway. Okay. And so we'll have potentially another administrator in here. They will be having you guys come in, a couple tables, open up your luggage, open up your personal bag that you're bringing with you, which is probably going to be your school bag. And they're going to do a quick check. Okay. This is a school district policy for all overnight trips. It's not something I like to do. I trust you guys, but it is something that we do have to do. All the gentlemen will be going to the chorus room, and I'll be in there, and along with Mr. Callahan. Okay. All right. Once you guys are done with that, you'll go out. Okay. Either if you're in the band room, you go out that door and go around and get on the coach buses. Okay. If you're in the chorus room, you'll be going out the outside chorus room door and going to the coach buses and getting on your bus that you're supposed to get on. You guys were all assigned buses. It's not a big deal. The bus assignments are so, not even really that important on this trip because it's just the ride down to Boston. So Mr. D just put your room and your roommates together on the same bus. Okay. And just kind of paired everything up as best as possible. And then the only other time you're going to need bus assignments is when we get to Orlando. We get on a bus that takes us a quick ride over to Universal and then back. And then same thing when we go back to Universal on Wednesday.
One of those days,
Yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday.
And then when we come back from Boston to go to the airport and all that, okay, from the airport back to here. So those bus assignments really, I mean, you're not going to be spending a lot of time on the bus. So I don't need people switching. Just get on the bus. It'll be fine. Okay. So, all right. Parking, if you do come with, if you're driving yourself here, that's fine. It's vacation week. You guys should be able to park in the main lot. Okay. It doesn't matter what kind of sticker you have. You can park in the main lot. Same with the chaperones. Okay. And then we'll hopefully be out of here by 8 a.m. All right. And on our way to Logan. Once we get to Logan, you guys will check your luggage in, just like you would if you were flying any other airline. We'll proceed through security. And once we get through security, we want you guys to go get something to eat. Okay. Because if you look at what time we'll probably get to Universal, it's 3:30. From the time we get to Logan and get through security, 9:30, 9:45-ish, that's a huge chunk of time to not get something to eat. You can grab something. If you're not hungry and you want to bring it on the plane with you, that's fine. Once you're through security, you're okay to do that. You're going to want to grab something to eat, okay? When we get to Orlando, there's a lot on the first day. I'm kind of going through everything on the first day. I won't do this with every single day, so. But when we get to Orlando, you guys will get your luggage off of the luggage carousel. We are going to head over to the bus, and you guys will have a truck there, not the band truck. It's going to be a truck that the travel company provides for us. All that luggage and any carry-on bag that you brought with you can go on there. However, if you have like something that you want to bring with you to the park, okay, I would recommend like, maybe not a gigantic backpack, but like a string bag. You can pull that out, have that in your carry-on ready to go. Okay. What we don't want is we don't want you guys opening up your suitcases in the middle of the airport and just kind of shuffling everything around, trying to repack for your day at the park at Universal. Okay. So we kind of want you to have everything ready to go for that. If it's your backpack, that's great. That's fine. You can bring that with you. But I would recommend like something smaller, like a string bag or whatever. Okay. And then we get on the bus. These are charter buses that are just going to bring us to the park, drop us off, and we won't see those buses again. So you're not going to leave anything on those buses. And then you guys spend time at Universal. Okay. As you know, the flights change. So we were getting there a little bit later that day. But luckily, the park is open later than it normally is. So it's open till technically 9 o'clock. But we're going to group up at 8:45. Okay, take attendance by bus, okay, and then head over to the bus area where they pick us up and get on the buses, okay? I'll pause right there. Any questions up to that point? Yes.
Please do not buy any carbonated beverages in cans and put them in a bag that you're putting in an overhead bin on the plane. They are likely to explode and they will soak everything in that carry-on bag.
That includes energy drinks that are carbonated, kids. Your Alanis or Celsiuses, yes. Your Monsters, yes.
All right. Good. So once we have a great day at Universal, so one thing I didn't mention, you guys will have the opportunity to go either Universal Islands of Adventure, okay, or Universal Studios. And those two parks are connected with what is called City Walk, okay? So if you want to go from park to park, you can. Okay, that is a day that you can switch between the parks. There's two ways to get in between those two parks. You can walk along City Walk. There's a bunch of shops. There's a bunch of restaurants. You can go there and eat if you want. Whatever meal coupon you get for that day, you can use at those restaurants outside of the parks that are in that City Walk area. Okay, and then, and this is my favorite way to get from one park to the next, is to take the Hogwarts train express thing, okay? So that's another way to get from one part to the other.
I think that's exciting.
You got so excited all of a sudden.
All right, so now, What we're not going to do though is we're not going to. And I realize there are actually 3 parks as part of Universal now. You're not allowed to park hop over to Epic that day. We are going to Epic on Wednesday, later in the week, okay? But so we'll reserve that for that time. All right. All right. Any other comments, questions? Yes.
You're able to go to some don't even allow that. You just did one. So we're allowing that. Layers.
Yeah.
Like perfect.
So if you do have something like Mrs. Westling, by the way, is one of our nurses coming on the trip. And the other nurse that's coming with us is Mrs. Zuby. All right. So we, I mean, if you can just open up your suitcase and jam something in there, that's fine. I just don't want people opening up their suitcases. All right. So once we've had a great day at Universal, we will be heading over to the hotel. Yeah.
Is it $25 for lunch and dinner?
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to have lunch or early lunch at the airport that day, so it's
Kind of
25
dinner
pretty much
type
for
of thing.
dinner.
Yeah.
Have a very good breakfast before you leave home that morning. Bring a snack maybe for the bus.
Yeah, good point. So once we get on the buses, we're going to head over to our resort. And as you all know, we're staying at Caribbean Beach Resort. I am not familiar with this property,
Me either.
but
It's nice.
I do know that if you look at the map, it is a fairly large resort, okay? Typically, I find when we've gone on these trips, they tend to put student groups all the way into the one of the buildings furthest from where we want, the bus pickup and the food court and all the other places that we need. It is what it is. Usually there's pools everywhere, so there's a pool next to where our building will be, okay? But when we get there, we'll get you guys off the buses. There will be the suitcases. We'll be in a room where you'll retrieve them. They'll be lined up by bus, okay? And so hopefully that'll make it easier, quicker. We'll get you guys your room cards and off to your rooms. As soon as we get there, make sure you guys get together with your roommates. So make sure you know who your roommates are, okay? Typically, that's not a problem, but every once in a while, some people are a little not knowledgeable. For that first night, we are going to not allow you guys to go to the pool or food court, which is why earlier in the day I told you guys, please eat before you leave the park. Okay. When we get back to the hotel, it already have been a long day. We want everybody to go up to the rooms, and you'll see this every night. Okay. Curfew, room checks, lights out. Those are 3 different things. Sometimes they might be close to each other, but curfew means be in your room. Okay. Not someone else's room, which you're not allowed to do anyway. Be in your room that you're assigned to. Okay. And then probably soon after that will be room checks, which means you have assigned chaperones that will be going to your room each night. And what they're doing is number one, they're going to give you some info for the next day. Okay. And just give you guys some reminders. But more importantly, they're there to check and make sure, Steve, John, and Frank are all in that room that are supposed to be in that room. Okay. Also, that first night, guys, if I have to stop every single time you want to talk about something, it's just going to take forever. My goal is to get the band out of here by 8. And right now, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. All right. So that first night, they'll also be giving you your Disney dining card for the next day. And we want you guys to figure out, this is something you need to kind of figure out on your own, is get that My Disney app onto your phone, and you will be able to link your dining cards to that if you want to. And we're going to highly suggest that you go ahead and order breakfast ahead of time for the next morning. which you can do. Because I will tell you that these food courts are great at the resorts, but they're super busy. Okay, we don't want to take forever getting you guys to the park the first morning. So get your food order in. Most likely you get there and you can pick it right up, at the time that you set. Okay. So that's a lot for day one. I know we already stopped and took a couple questions, but any other questions or comments for day one? Yeah.
So lights out. If you're somebody who has to get TV on, is that included in lights out?
I would say no to that just because your roommates probably won't want that.
Well, could you have the TV on?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
If your roommates agree, or a night light or something.
Yeah, right. So lights out is just
They mean just not up and talking and active.
Yeah.
Like you're getting ready to sleep. You're resting. Some kind of night light or some kind of light. As long as everyone's finished.
Any other questions?
Even if you don't have a question, can you please be quiet so other people can hear the answer? Thank you.
Any other questions about day one?
One over here.
Yes.
How are we supposed to sign into the Disney app?
Okay, great question. I think you have to go in and start an account. Unless your parents, maybe if you've ever been to Disney before, you might already have an account. So you just reactivate that. But yeah, you start the account, and you don't have to, but you can, link your Disney Pass to that. This didn't happen the last time we went there, but now you can just scan in using your phone if your pass is linked to that. So, okay.
You have to create an account.
Yeah. Otherwise, you will get your physical card, and you'll have that for the whole week.
For your ticket in for different days.
When, on the first day we go to Disney. Yeah. All right.
Another question.
Yeah, great questions.
One over here.
So someone just asked, shh, when you get your physical card, we'll pass that out to you guys on Tuesday morning when you come down for breakfast. Okay. Sorry, not Tuesday morning. Monday morning. Yeah.
Thursday during school.
We'll get those from you guys after the practice
On Wednesday. Oh yes, girl. Get it.
All right. Yes.
Sunday night, each room will also pick up 1 case of water when you're
All
going
right.
up to your room. And we'll have a case of water for your room. And then each morning, Bob will have snack buckets available, so you guys can each grab a couple of snacks.
Oh, that's
put in
nice.
a bag, take into the park with you as well.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks, Mom.
All right. I'm going to keep moving on, and I'm not going to go over every single detail with every single day. Like I said, you guys are going to have access to all this information. Monday is Magic Kingdom and Band Parade Performance Day. Okay. Every morning, we'll have breakfast at the Centertown Market, which is one of the bigger facilities on that. If you find other places that you can go eat at that are convenient, we'll probably figure that out as the week goes on. I have too many guys in the back talking right now, so I'm just going to wait. But we're going to expect you guys to check in with someone that will be near that Centertown Market. I can't tell you where that's going to be right now, but you will, we'll be able to blast that out on Sports U and let you know, meet the parents to check in. We want to see everyone's face in the morning. When you come down just about every part of the trip, you guys are going to get this at the beginning of the trip. Okay. This is a lanyard that we assigned to you guys. It'll have a name tag on it with your name. And it has pouches for you guys to be able to put all your stuff in it, which is actually, I find, I love these because I just don't have to carry around too much stuff with me. I'll put my room card in here, your park hopper ticket for Disney, your Universal Park ticket, okay, your dining cards, okay, unless you load them onto your app ahead of time. So all that kind of stuff can go in here, which is really great to have. Your ID, okay, which we'll talk about in a minute. All right. So breakfast is, I'm not saying breakfast is mandatory, but you really should take advantage of it. But if you're, just I'm going to grab something at the park, that's fine too. But we do need you to come down for check-in. Okay. We'll be taking the Disney bus shuttle. So as soon as you're ready in the morning, if you come down, eat breakfast at 9 o'clock, you're at 9:15, you and the rest of your group are ready to go. We will have some parents that will be ready to get you guys off the shuttle, onto the shuttle, and go with you over to the park and get you going. All right. What we don't want is we don't want the whole entire group, 185 people total, all heading over to the shuttle buses at the same time. It'll take forever. So if you are ready early, you can go. Okay. The big thing with that day is the band performance. You guys will meet at the Walt Disney Carousel of Progress and the Rocket Tower in between those two rides, and you guys will get brought backstage through this little door, and you'll get to see the part of the park that a lot of people don't get to see, which is really kind of cool. Okay. When you get back there, your instrument, your uniform, and your duffel bag will all be on the truck. Okay. And that will get unloaded. You guys will there's a changing facility. Okay. Men's room, women's room, changing facility. You guys will get in uniform. But the Disney folks asked that you guys have something on that you can just throw your uniform on quickly, because you're not going to have a lot of time back there. All right. So typically you guys do that anyway, but I just wanted to make sure, you're not changing. Okay. And then you guys do your parade. Once you're done with the parade, you go backstage, everything goes back on the truck. And then you guys will get, you'll be able to go back into the park and spend the rest of the day in Magic Kingdom. Okay. At the end of the day, we're all going to meet up for Happily Ever After fireworks, nighttime show. Make your way towards the front of the park to watch. Okay. And that means kind of in front of the castle towards the, Main Street section of it. So that when we're done, when that parade is done, basically the whole entire park empties out. Okay. So you kind of want to be at the front of the park for that. And you'll see this very often every day, just about every time we leave a park. Meet right outside the front of the park. Look for our group. Okay. It is very easy. Like I just said, the park closes. Thousands of people are pouring out of this park. You can't just go with the herd that's going to the right when we're meeting over here on the left. We'll be waving. We'll have some chaperones around that will be kind of directing you guys, but you got to pay attention as you're coming out of the parks and looking for our group. We'll take attendance by bus, even though we're not getting on assigned buses, but we'll take attendance by bus. And then you guys will head over to the Disney shuttle and make your way back to the hotel. Okay. And then same thing, when we get back to the hotel that first night, since it's going to be pretty late, no pool, no food court. So make sure you eat before the park closes. And then, we'll do the same curfew, room checks, lights out, and your chaperones will give you guys your dining card for the next day. Okay. Any questions on Monday? All right, great. Tuesday is the orchestra choir and choir performance day, and the rest of the group is going to Disney Springs to get an opportunity to shop. There's a lot of great stores down there, really cool experiences. There's an arcade. I think there's some other fun stuff to do. So there's a huge Lego store, which is my favorite. Yeah. So, okay. One thing about the schedule is you'll see, if you're in orchestra, you're going to want to follow this schedule, right? If you're in band or choir, you're going to want to follow this schedule. And if you're in band, you're going to follow this schedule. One thing that changed literally this past week, Friends of Music decided to sponsor a lunch for all of us at the House of Blues.
Yay! Thank you, Paul.
So we'll meet there. We'll meet there at 11:30. The performances are all kind of a little bit different. We have our orchestra performance in the morning, choir in the afternoon. And we do want you guys to make your way over to that stage and watch those groups and cheer your friends on. And then at some point, the choir, once they're done performing, we'll go over to the special changing facility that they have, which is actually across the street from Disney Springs. But then you guys will get on your bus. And it's a charter bus that will take you to Disney Epcot. And the other thing that changed for everyone else that kind of hangs back at Disney Springs, you guys will get on coach buses as well. So not Disney transportation. It'll be coach buses, which the travel company let me know this week would be a lot more, would be quicker. So, so they're taking care of that for us as well, which is pretty awesome. Okay. And then everyone goes to Epcot at 9 p.m. We want you guys over at the United Kingdom to watch the Illuminous show. And the reason we're doing that is because that's the section of the park that's closest to the Skyliner, which is what you guys will take to get back to your hotel. But before we do that, we'll meet, take attendance by bus, and then get on the Skyliner and get back to the hotel. And then I think we might have some time for pool and I did.
The performances will be done by then, yeah.
I did put TBD, so depending on how long it takes for us to get back.
It depends what time they close and how long it takes to get back. We'll see.
All right.
Don't dilly dap.
And then Wednesday, we go back to Universal Epic Universe. Okay, this is the new park, if you're not aware. And there's all kinds of cool stuff there.
I've never been.
I really don't have much more to say about that day, except we're just going to have a blast. Any comments, questions? Okay. And then Thursday, we're getting you guys up at 9 a.m. for breakfast. Same thing, check in. And then we're going to take the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios.
Very fun.
Okay, Hollywood Studios is the park that now has the Star Wars land. Okay, it's pretty fun. All right. And then
that ride is so cool.
That particular day, we're going to meet at 5 p.m., bring you guys back to the hotel. And this is going to be a pretty good chunk of time that you're going to have some time to just lounge. If you want to just chill out in your room, that's fine. Go to the pool, that's fine. You can use your Disney dining cards at the hotel for dinner. Okay, so totally up to you. It's kind of like free time at the hotel.
Woo!
Right? All right. And then Friday is the bonus day. We get a full day at Animal Kingdom. Okay, I would highly suggest once you get there, if you've never been there before, go directly to. I got too many people talking. I would highly suggest going directly to the safari because they say the safari is better in the morning. I've been in the afternoon; it's fine, but
They're more awake.
So just a little tip. But otherwise, we're gonna have a blast there. We are gonna be leaving at 6:15, which is I think when the park closes at 6. So we'll once again look for our group, take attendance by bus, get on Disney transportation and back to the hotel. You will be getting, if we have time for pool and food, we'll let you do that. Okay, I should probably put TBD there. But otherwise, we're gonna have you guys go to your rooms for curfew at 8 p.m. A little earlier than usual, but we have a super early morning the next morning. So we're gonna have you guys pack. You do get pizza in your room that night. Okay.
You don't even have to go anywhere.
All right. So Saturday morning is going to be a fairly early wake-up call. 2 a.m.
At least it's not Sunday anymore.
But we will have you guys.
Hey, Stush.
We will have you guys back early that morning So estimated, unless we run into delays, 11:15 back here. 10:20 arrival at Boston. By the time we get our luggage, get everybody on the buses, and get back to Londonderry, it should be about 12:15. Okay. All right. If you haven't already, check it out. Your checklist for your suitcase. Too much talking. Everyone's allowed one suitcase. Usually most airlines say 50 pounds. Frontier, for whatever reason, 40 pounds. So, but that shouldn't be a problem. You shouldn't be packing. Look ahead at the weather. If it's going to be hot, all week, you're not going to be packing like 15 sweaters. Okay, just t-shirts and shorts shouldn't take up too much room in your luggage. Again, ban your duffel bags and Shako are all going to go on the truck, so you don't have to pack that in your suitcase. So there's a lot of, you should be able to do this. And just make sure that your suitcase is 62 linear inches, which means if you measure the width times the height times the length, plus, you add those all together, it should be under 62 inches. All right. Listen, we're getting to that point where you guys I'm losing your focus. You can just hang in there. We don't have much longer. Okay. One thing to keep in mind is we will go to the parks, rain or shine. Okay. So plan for that. Toiletries, usually your hotel has a hairdryer. It may not, it's hit or miss if it's great or not. So that's up to you. As I mentioned, the band uniform accessories duffel bags will get collected. We'll start with collecting them after the Lexington parade next week. Okay. So you won't even have to bring them home. But if you're not at that parade, we need to get it from you before Thursday. Chorus and orchestra, you guys will need to pack your concert black attire, including black pants, black dress shirt, black shoes, and black socks. We'll bring the ties and scarves. Okay. An appropriate bathing suit for the pool. The hotel provides towels. You do not need to bring a towel. Sunscreen, sandals. Need to wear footwear around the pool. Inflatable mattress for the room. This is completely optional, but if you it's not going to work well with sleeping in the same bed with someone else, you're more than welcome to do that. It's not a problem. Okay, totally up to you. Power strip, your stuffy blanket, your snuggly stuffed animal, and also certainly if you haven't traveled through airline before, which I know some people haven't, okay, you may want to read through. I'm not going to go through this, but TSA and what to pack and tips for packing, all that kind of stuff. Please do not pack beverages in your suitcase or anything else you feel is super valuable or fragile. Okay. Your personal item will be something that you can bring on the plane with you, and that's essentially, like I mentioned before, a backpack. Okay, nothing bigger than that. If you bring anything bigger than that, like one of those small rolling suitcases, that's a carry-on, and they will charge you. Okay, we're not going down that road. We're not letting you guys do it because we don't want everyone to be sitting there checking in a carry-on and having to pay for it and all that stuff. So you should be able to manage with just the suitcase and your personal item. Photo ID. Everyone traveling with the group must have some form of ID. If you're under 18, you should at least have your school ID or a driver's license. If you already have it, great. Okay. I would recommend school ID just so you don't lose your driver's license. It's kind of a pain in the butt. If you don't have your school ID, you can just go to contact the main office or go to the main office and they'll reprint you one. However, it's going to cost you $5 because they should have already given you one at the beginning of the year. Yeah.
If we're under 18, are we allowed to just bring a driver's license, or do we have to bring both a school issued ID?
No, just one or the other is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is like a sneaky question, but it's not a driver's license, but it's like an issued.
Yeah, it's state issued.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
non-driver's
fine.
license. Yep.
Okay, just
Yep.
making sure. I went to the DMV and got it. So.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Hope that works.
And then students over 18 need to have the real ID. Okay. If you don't have a real ID, bring your passport. Okay.
Fake ID.
Spending money, of course. Remember, we're providing breakfast, lunch, and dinner, except for when we're going down in the airport and when we're coming back. Okay. Small sunscreen bottle for the first day. Okay, travel size. Empty water bottle once you get past security, you can find a water fountain and fill it up. Okay, and you should be all set from there. Small battery chargers and cables for your phone. This is, if you have an older phone that the battery is going to die in 3 to 4 hours, you may want to bring a battery charger with you. Okay, because we will be communicating with you guys using Sports U. Anything else you may need for the first day in the park should be in your carry-on bag. Okay, sorry, your personal bag. And then any other information, again, if you've never traveled before, okay, what can I bring is a very important document. You might want to look through that. Okay, you and your parents. All right, prior to travel, app downloads. We need you guys to get the Sports U app. Okay, I've already gone through and posted today. And we will, let me just put it this way. Mr. D is in charge of not letting you on the bus to go to Orlando from here if you're not on the Sports U app. And when Mr. D gets put in charge of something like that, he means business.
He is not.
So I can, So
I applaud that.
right now, I think we should have a few more students in here. We're missing about 30 or 40 students. So I will hunt you down. All right.
Did you email?
My Disney Experience app, of course, I mentioned that before. And these are great for, they have interactive maps that you can look at. Okay. Universal Orlando Resort app. And of course, the Orlando Hub that I shared with you guys before. Okay. Your park ticket, you guys will, like I said, get a physical copy of that once we get down there. But all of you guys should have had the chance to take a photo of it and then be able to link it to your Disney app. And if you're having problems with that, you can see one of us. Okay. The Lightning Pass question comes up. I would just be careful with that. You can do it. Okay. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. Just make sure that everyone in your group is purchasing it. Because obviously if 2 people purchase it and the other 3 people don't, then now you're breaking up your group. Okay. We do want you guys traveling together. I'll mention that later, but you got to travel, with a group of at least 2. So I wouldn't do it for that reason. The other reason is typically the week we go down during April vacation week tends to be lighter. Okay. Meaning, lower wait times at some of the rides. Maybe some of the bigger rides might have a longer wait, but just something that maybe just think about. Okay. Communication. Like I said, we will be putting messages out through Sports U. Please make sure you have notifications on. There will be some opportunities during the trip that we might be like, hey, we're hearing from a lot of students that, they're tired. We may do a early, trip back to the hotel if some people want to do that. So you might want to be aware of that kind of stuff. You might be in a group with other people, and that's fine, but you want to have that, working on your phone. Okay. Luggage, I already sort of talked about. Okay. So I'm going to skip that. Identification, I already talked about. Like I said, you guys will get these pouches. You need to have these on you at all times. As I mentioned, at the resort, you guys might be at a building that's way over here, and you guys go to breakfast all the way over here and where you have to check in. That might be like a 10-minute walk. You get all the way over there, the first thing the chaperones are going to do that are checking you in is they're going to be asking you, where's your pouch? You better have it around your neck at all times, not in your pocket, not in your school bag, or whatever bag you're bringing with you for the day. It needs to be on you. Okay. It's also helpful for our chaperones to be able to identify. A lot of you, they may not know. Okay. Some new faces, choir and orchestra that they're not used to seeing, or vice versa. Okay. A medical form will also be in here. That's important. So if you do need like an ibuprofen or a Tylenol in the middle of the day and you go to see one of the nurses, they're going to ask you to take that form out. They're going to sign, fill some information out on it. And it's very important for you to have that copy with you. Okay. Name tags. We'll have you guys get luggage tags when you guys arrive. Already mentioned check-in. Students travel together at all times. Students will not be allowed to leave the hotel or park that our group is at any time to visit friends or relatives. Okay. Sometimes this question comes up. Parents want to come grab you. Oh, we're going to take them out to eat with grandma and grandpa. Nope. Okay. You guys are with our group. Okay. They can meet you anywhere. They can meet you at Disney Springs and take you over to Rainforest Cafe if they want to, you know, whatever. They can meet you at the park, okay, and go out. You guys can go to a dining experience, whatever. But what they're not allowed to do is take you away from our entire group, from where we're at. Okay? So medical, when we're at the hotel, we will have, like I mentioned, our 2 nurses. They will be on duty, okay? And if anything happens in the middle of the night, please don't tough it out, okay? If you're really feeling ill in the middle of the night, you can call these 2 people and or just contact one of your chaperones. You can message your directors through the Sports U app, okay? Whatever's more convenient. When we go to the parks, okay? I don't know if I mentioned this before, but all the parks have first aid stations. So if you're not feeling well, it's not, you know, you don't have to contact one of us right away. It's like head to the first aid station. They will most likely contact us, but if not, you can contact us. Let us know that you're there. But that should be kind of like your first pit stop. If you're really struggling, something happens where you're really not feeling well, find a park employee. They'll probably get a golf cart for you and shuttle you over to the first aid station. Okay. In the hotel, room assignments. Okay, those should be final. Please look at the rooming assignments. Again, that is on the hub. Okay, where I put all that stuff. Again, you need to be in Eiley. Turn around, please. You need to be in the room that you are assigned for the duration of the trip. Okay, there's no switching. Okay, unless it's a extenuating circumstance that we need to know about. All right. Nightly checks before you must be in your assigned room. I already mentioned that. And the curfew will be announced nightly. The chaperones will come around, check you guys, make sure you're in the correct room. Room visitation, students are not allowed to be in any other room other than their own at any time during the trip. Okay. So this includes, it doesn't matter if it's your brother or sister's room or if it's guy to guy rooms. We don't want you guys in each other's rooms. Okay. It's not anything, you know, but just a couple years ago, we had issues with people in each other's rooms and things going missing. It shouldn't be something that we have to deal with. So just stay in your own room. If you guys want to hang out, get together. Like I mentioned, there's opportunities during the trip. You guys can go down to the pool, you know, when we give you guys time for the pool, all that kind of stuff. And hang out in the common areas. When you get into your room, if this applies to you, if there's something damaged, don't wait till the last day of the trip. Oh yeah, by the way, that mirror was broken when we got here. Sorry, you're gonna get charged for that. Okay. If you arrive in your room and there's something broken, report it to your assigned chaperone. Okay. By the way, if you're wondering who your assigned chaperone is, if you haven't already, on the hub, there's a rooming list. And as you can see, all of the students that are highlighted in the screen are assigned to Miss D'Arville and Miss Blake. I hope you guys know they're going on the trip. You guys know Miss D'Arville and Miss Blake? Okay. So you can quickly figure out who those chaperones are that are assigned to your room. These will be the same people that will be coming around each night. Okay, I'm going to skip down ahead. So one thing that should be pretty obvious is this is not just a luxury trip for you to go on. This is actually a school field trip. Okay, this has been approved by the school district. Your principal has approved it. Okay, so with that being in mind, all school rules apply at all times.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything that you wouldn't do in school, you should not be doing on the trip. Okay? Which includes, but is not limited to, theft. Let me just say one thing. All of the stores in the parks have undercover security people that walk around. They are in plain clothes, like what you will be wearing, and they are looking for people that are stealing. Okay, hasn't happened in a long time, but years ago we did have a student that got caught stealing. And it turns out that I've talked to my colleagues at different other schools too, and they've had the same thing happen. It's unfortunate, but if that happens, just know that you will be sent home at the expense of your parents. They will be paying for your trip home.
Hopefully you actually.
Okay. So just keep that in mind. And it kind of gets worse from there. All right. You will face disciplinary actions when you get back here at Londonderry, which will end up on your permanent record. Okay. Because you're on a school field trip, that counts. And this hasn't happened to us, luckily, but it has happened to another school where if they catch you stealing something, they bring you to they're basically, security like you would see at a mall. But so they don't have any like authority to do this, arrest you or whatever. But what they will do is detain you, and they will call the Orlando police, and then they will call me. Before the Orlando police get there, and this happened to another school, you get brought to the Orlando Police Department, and you get, charged and all that stuff. And it gets worse from there, because you'll get a court date, and you'll have to go back to go to that court date.
Guys, he's not joking.
I'm not
he's dead
joking.
serious. This has happened. Please don't have it happen again.
All right, so
Play stupid games.
that's enough on that. I hope you guys get the point.
We have sent people home before.
Yep. So if you, again, violations on the trip include vaping or possessing vaping paraphernalia, possessing and/or smoking chewing tobacco products, possessing and consuming drugs, alcohol, being in another room other than your assigned room, being out of your room after curfew. Okay. By the way, where are my track people? Okay. I will allow you guys to get up early, but no earlier than, can we say 7 a.m. if you're going to go for a run. And yeah, you're running.
Listen, this has happened before. That's why he's just saying it.
It's up to you. I'm just saying, I know I get every trip we go on. I know my runners will ask if they can go for a run in the morning. You can, but not before 7 a.m. And you need to stay on property. Okay, you can't go off property. All right.
At the resort, like you can take a run around Caribbean Beach.
We are going to ask that you, when you're in the parks, we don't assign you to a chaperone. Like you might have done that when you guys went on the DC trip in 8th grade. You probably had, it was 20 students and one of the chaperones, right? We don't do that, okay? But you do need to buddy up, be with at least one other person. If chaperones are walking around the park and they see you wandering by yourself, we will pull you into our group, okay? And that's,
don't do it on purpose either. You just want to hang out with us.
Well, for some people, that's not really a deterrent.
Devin, we watched a little bit TV, The Lost Puppy. Watch out. See, I know.
All right. I'm going to skip around a little bit because I know we're running out of time.
I'm so excited.
If there are any dietary needs, however, aside from House of Blues, which has a buffet, should have a variety of things. I posted the menu. Take a look at it. Other than that, all the meals are choose your own meal. Okay, so if you have dietary restrictions,
Disney's really good about that too.
You shouldn't have a problem finding something that you can eat. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask people that are serving you.
Yeah.
Okay. I already mentioned health. We're not permitted to leave students back at the hotel. That's for many different reasons. So if you're feeling sick, unfortunately, you're going to need to come with us. Your first ride will be the first aid station. So the point is please get your rest and drink plenty of fluids. I find that most of the time when students are not feeling well, it's probably because you didn't drink enough water, Gatorade, other good fluids that are going to help you out. Okay? All right. I have just enough time that I'm going to go over this. Some of it's a little reiterates what we already talked about, but at the end of it, if you haven't already, you're going to sign. If your parents haven't already, you're going to take it home for them to sign. I have that spreadsheet here, not to embarrass anyone. Some people were able to figure out the signing digitally when I sent out a digital thing for you to sign online using cut time. But others weren't. So if your name is on this list, it's fine. You can just do a paper copy. It's not a big deal. Okay. So we'll go over that in a second. Okay. So just to reiterate, this is a Londonderry School District approved field trip. Londonderry High School's behavioral expectations as outlined in the Londonderry High School Student Handbook, which you can click on and read, and below will be enforced for the entirety of the trip. The student agrees to follow the set expectations and all applicable sections of the handbook while on the trip. The student will conduct themselves with maturity, courtesy, and respect towards all parties at all times. This includes, but is not limited to, classmates, administrators, directors, travel adults, travel agents, employees of the theaters, museums, theme parks, etc., hotel and or resort employees and guests, bus, airline, and other transportation workers. Okay? I forgot to mention this. When you're in the airport, okay, if you've never traveled before, I know how you guys are amongst your family. You're probably a little quieter and reserved. When you guys are amongst your friends, you can tend to be more rambunctious, a little more immature. Some of you guys are trying to show off to each other. So I want to say that when you're in an airport, you don't joke around. Okay? You may see a funny sign that says, "Oh, don't bring explosive," like you're going to carry TNT into the airport. So it's funny now, we can all laugh, but when you're in the airport, you shouldn't be yelling out things and joking around, because just gonna wait till you guys are done talking. This will take way too long, by the way. You shouldn't be joking around, because you will get pulled. I can tell you right now that TSA is probably not a great group of people that are very happy right now, as you know, because of the news. Okay, so and a lot of times they're grumpy people to begin with, so they're not afraid to pull you out and detain you, which means the rest of the group goes to Disney and you're stuck back at the airport. Okay. So please do not fool around. Marco, please look up here. John, please do not fool around in the airport. This is serious. The directors and administrators are responsible for student and group welfare. Accordingly, the students will obey instructions at all times. Directors and administrators have the final authority and the right to administer consequences for any student who are in breach of this agreement. Participation in all performances, group meetings, meals towards excursions, and other scheduled events is mandatory. For the duration of the trip, the students will never travel anywhere in groups of less than 2 individuals. Students will not make any excursions outside of the venues areas we are at. Travel to areas defined as out of bounds may constitute an actionable offense of the behavioral expectations. The students understand that they are traveling as part of a group and are expected to remain with that group for the duration of the trip. Family members may visit with the students in the parks, but must observe the same zones of operation while with the students. Director contact information will be shared with the students for emergency use only, which is basically Sports U. The student recognizes that abuse of said contact information, either during or following the trip, could be actionable and result in consequences. Another official channel, be it Sports U, cut time, etc., will be established for routine check-ins, questions, and other communications of non-emergent nature. While at the hotel, theme parks, and other destinations on the trip, group meeting times will be scheduled several times a day. The students will be required to attend those promptly or to contact the director if there's an extenuating circumstance preventing them from doing so. This doesn't mean, oh, we're stuck in the middle of the line going on the last ride of the day. Too bad, okay. I mean,
He is not having it.
As much as reasonable possible, student groups will also keep in contact with the travel adult director or administrator and keep them apprised as to group plans throughout the course of each day. Okay. Students must stay in predetermined accommodations and with predetermined roommates chosen in advance. Exceptions to this rule will be made only due to extenuating medical circumstances or necessitated by some other behavior or safety reasons deemed legitimate by directors or administrators. During overnight stays, there will be times announced by which students must be in their rooms in appropriate attire and ready for room check by director, chaperone, or administrators. Once all occupants of the room have been visually accounted for, the students will remain, I'm waiting for talking, and the students will remain in their assigned lodging from that point until a time designated by the director at room check. From that point, the doors will be secured for the night, and students will not be allowed to leave unless accompanied by an administrator, chaperone, or director. Students will respect public and personal property and understands that they will be financially responsible for any damages incurred to public or personal property as a result of their conduct. Furthermore, the students understand that such misconduct, especially in the cases of shoplifting or vandalism, may result in legal charges and/or students being banned from the premises wherever we are visiting, which does happen. The student understands that Londonderry High School, and Londonderry School District are not liable for any damage that may occur to students' personal property on the trip. The student will not consume alcohol, use any tobacco products, vape, or partake of illegal drugs and/or medications that is not prescribed by a medical professional during the trip, nor will the student accept or transport any of these items. The students, I'm almost done, hang in there. Students will dress appropriately throughout the trip and in keeping with the standards of the Londonderry student dress code and the atmosphere of a family-friendly environment. The students understand that bathing suits should be of the one-piece variety or the equivalent thereof, and overly revealing swimwear such as bikinis, speedos, etc. will not be permitted. Where's our swimmers? All right, I'm almost done. The student is responsible for packing the appropriate performances uniforms as defined for the trip. Students will take great care with any meal cards, vouchers, tickets that are issued and treat them as they would cash. The student understands that if lost, they cannot be replaced and they will not be reimbursed. Okay. Well, we did scan in the Disney card, so if you do lose it, you would have to come see us. But it's super inconvenient. You have to wait it, customer service. We'll see if we can try to retrieve your card. Otherwise, you'll have to buy a new one. If there are any additional medical needs that arise for a student or other paid travelers, such as an urgent care or ER visit, hospital stay, or prescription, hopefully that doesn't happen, or OTC medications, it should be understood that the expense of any such needs must be covered by the individual or the family. Okay, the students understand that as a result of failure to follow the rules and expectations listed above, they may incur behavioral consequences to be administered either on the trip or upon return to school. In cases where offenses pose a risk to self or others, where students have engaged in illegal activity of any kind, or where their offense has risen to a level serious enough to interfere with the successful outcome of the trip, the student will be sent home early. In such case, the student's parent guardian will be solely responsible for making travel arrangements and liable financially for all such arrangements. Okay. Any questions to that? Sit down. Sit down.
Hey, sit down.
So, if you understand, question. Wait, what's that question?
If she's in a group but she doesn't want to go on a particular ride, does she have to have someone stay with her even if the rest of them want to go on a ride?
I think usually,
Yeah, as long as you're waiting, that's fine. Usually, a lot of Disney will allow you to, you can go through the
Line with
queue,
them.
the line, the wait, and then once you get to the ride, you can wait. There's a waiting area. Yeah.
Kind of like what they do with the parents if they switch off with their kids. They have an area like that.
All right, so
Definitely their role play or something like an
just can't reiterate, making sure you're set up on the Sports2 app, and then
hour.
if your name is on here, I checked this afternoon. If something changed between now and then, we'll figure it out. But it'll probably be just easier to grab. Again, you're not in trouble here. It's just, I know a lot of people couldn't figure out the digital signature thing. So just grab a paper copy. If your name is in orange over here on these columns, it means you need to sign. If your name is over here, your parent needs to sign. So you're going to grab a copy, bring it home. Or if you meet them in the parking lot, just bring it back in right away. Otherwise, bring it back tomorrow. Or if your name is in both columns, then, both of you need to sign.
Just get one page and both sign it.
Any questions on that? Yeah. Oh, then bring it up. Yeah. Make sure.
Dropbox.
We have a lot of great questions. Yeah.
If we're 18, we still have to have our parents sign.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah. If you're over 18, you still have to have your parents sign.
Yeah, Sophia, you're not entirely in it.
Come on up. Nurses. Yeah. Laura. This is it. We did post any medications that you need to bring on a trip, prescription, or even over-the-counters that weren't on that form that your parents signed off on. And so you have some kind of special over-the-counter medication that you need to bring that wasn't on that form. You need to get it to the school nurses like this week, okay? So that they can get that, they're getting all that organized into like pouches and all the stuff that's going to distribute every day. Okay? Yeah.
If you guys take any medications the morning we leave, we want you to take them before you come to school. We are not giving out your prescription medications that you take in the morning. We're not doing that morning. It's going to be too busy for us to get all of that stuff done. So if you take something, take it in the morning before you come to school, number one. Number two, if you carry an EpiPen or you have an inhaler, those are to be carried on you. We are not carrying them through the parks, okay? That's your responsibility. Those are the only two medications that you should be carrying with you in the park. Everything else comes through myself or
Jeremy.
Laura, okay? If and like Serge said, if there's an issue, the medical services at Disney and at Universal are stellar. Make sure you find your way to either a park employee or to the medical services. We will get over to you, okay? And just make sure that you have our numbers so that you can get in touch with us.
There's a question.
Yeah. No, yeah, you have to have that check. You have to get that to the school nurse. Yeah. Yep.
So like if I take Benadryl every night, that is on the paper, right?
Was
so
it on-
like would you guys
Yeah, so it's on the PRN stuff, our as needed stuff. What we had asked is if there was something that the doctor wants you to be taking every night, even if it is an over-the-counter medication. So like you take Flonase or Claritin every day, those things, they still wanted an order from the doctor's office so that we have that with our records.
Because the dosage could be different too.
Yeah.
So if you take a higher dosage, then we're able to provide.
Okay, so just have, whoever your guardian is, contact the doctor and get an order to the office for us, okay? We're not gonna be carrying around the huge bag that we have that has everything in it, so we're gonna be traveling light. If there's things,
Very, very important. If you're taking prescription medications each day, that you need to most likely check in with them in the morning. If you do something at night, they'll find you at night. Please be alert. If they will be one of the very few that will have access to your cell phone numbers. So if you're not coming to get your medications regularly and they ask you to, you really need to, they will contact you using that, however they can get in touch with you, okay? They shouldn't have to be running around the hotel going to your rooms, okay? Please be cooperative and listen to whatever instructions they give.
Can I interrupt for 1 minute?
Yeah.
If you do have allergies and it's seasonal and you don't always need it and you haven't needed it, you may need it in Florida because they haven't started really here, but there they will. I remember the last time we went in April, I was dead. So make sure you have that stuff and you let them know and have what you need, just in case. You can always bring it home after.
Please hydrate.
Sunscreen
Oh, yeah.
and sunscreen.
So we will be, like, as someone mentioned, I think Mrs. Mackey had mentioned, we will be getting you guys a case of water to every room. When you get back at the end of the day, grab one and like finish off a bottle before you go to bed. That would be ideal because that's good hydration to get in your body before you go to bed, and then continue to hydrate throughout the day. Okay. Yeah.
And bring a refillable water bottle with you into the car.
Yes.
And ask them at any of the quick serve restaurants or whatever, they will fill it for you.
Yes.
So,
Even
a
though,
lot cheaper than.
yeah. Yep. Great point. Just so you guys know, I know they're not all here tonight, but we have a lot of our chaperones around the back of the room, the front here, that are coming with us. I think you know a lot of them. Yeah. One more thing about medical.
If you guys get car sick, again, it's kind of along the same lines as taking all your prescribed medication before we leave. If you know that you get car sick, if you know that you've gotten sick on rides, take like a Dramamine if you have it, before getting on the plane, like in the morning before we leave.
Consider some of the rides you're gonna be on. I know Mission
Yeah.
Space Orange is gonna light a bunch of people, so, okay?
All right. So again, if your name is up there, grab a sheet. Otherwise, free to go. Or some fires. Take it out.
$40 on Amazon.
What?
Trust me.
Give me a minute.